Hello again, it's your friendly neighborhood host, JT Wheatley, back for another episode of the History of Comics podcast, this time on another edition of the classics with Space Usagi by Stan Sakai. This is a fun sci-fi spin-off of his classic Usagi Yojimbo series, which is his original comic series. It's basically a samurai tale starring an anthropomorphic white rabbit named Usagi Yojimbo, a samurai warrior in feudal Japan, who is probably most famous for appearing in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, though he is an original creation of Sakai. The reason he appeared on both the cartoon and the comic book is because Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, the creators of the Ninja Turtles, were such big fans of Usagi Yojimbo, they said, hey, let's do a crossover. And that, of course, led to him appearing in the Ninja Turtles TV show and also getting his own action figure, which, by the way, I proudly have. But Sakai, this has always been his character. He's always been it's one of the most consistently great comic book runs of all time. It's just a great character because it mixes in a nice cartoony style with some serious samurai action and some deep drama and so forth. And Space Usagi continues that, though in a fun way. It takes place in the future where one of Usagi Yojimbo's descendants is still technically a samurai, but it's in a futuristic setting, but he still has to go through various tales, such as protecting a princess or dealing with the return of his old mentor. But you can tell Sakai's having a ton of fun taking this character and now having him fight aliens, be in space battles, use lasers, while still wielding a samurai sword and doing all the cool stuff you love from the original series. It's just a lot of fun in general, and you can tell Sakai, like I said, was having a ball with this. So much so that they were hoping like doing a spin-off of Space Usagi during the 1990s when this story was printed, but it was too close to Scott Hanna's and Michael Golden's, Larry Hama's and Michael Golden's Bucky O'Hare TV show, which sadly didn't last too long either. But all in all, Space Usagi is just a fun, quick read. You can get the entire collection of miniseries, which was published from 1990 to 96, in one simple trade paperback. It's a great read from beginning to end. And all in all, it is like most of Usagi Yojimbo, is a true classic read. So if you can find Space Usagi, definitely check that out.
My name is Mark McCray, and I'm the author of The Best Saturdays of Our Lives.
I'm Dan Klink, co-host of the Best Saturdays of Our Lives podcast.
The Best Saturdays of Our Lives features programming trends from the 1966 television season all the way through the last hurrah of the early digital age of the 1990s.
On the show, if it's animated, we talk about it.
Order your signed copy today at tbsool.com.
And listen to the podcast at esonetwork.com and all podcast platforms.
Now it is February 23rd, 2023. Time for favorite comic of the week. Black Cloak #2 by Kelly Thompson and Meredith McLaren, which finds detective of the Black Coat Phaedra, which is basically a detective in this fantasy universe they've recently created, waking up from her near-death experience as her love Nydia brings her out of the morgue, revealing that not only the reason how she's able to come back from the dead, but also the larger reason why she chose exile and from over marrying Prince Frey and getting into the royal family. This once again has another great layer to what is going on with Phaedra, why she left the royal family when she could have married the prince and be happy in living in royalty, and instead chose the life of a black coat, basically a police detective. And it goes into larger details about what the larger forms of bigotry inside this fantasy world, which is nice, which relates in the real world as well. Which is like which is really the best way fantasy and sci-fi tales do stuff like this, is using fantasy examples to show racism and bigotry. And Thompson does that expertly well, along with adding new layers to the mystery as she discovers a new clue about what happened to Prince Frey and his murder. And it's matched by McLaren's art, which has a nice cartoony style to it with a nice fantasy element, but it still has a bit of crime noir into it mixed. So it's like a perfect mix of fantasy and crime noir, which is essentially what this series is. It's a fantasy crime noir series of a detective trying to solve a murder, only involves elves and magic and so forth, so which is very cool. So all in all, this has been one of the better new series that come out recently. Definitely check it out. And with that, we'll conclude this edition of the Classics. Join me again next week for what's likely another edition of the Classics. And until then, go out and enjoy yourself a good comic book. Oh, I should go ahead and point out, I did check out Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania over the weekend, and while not perfect, it's still a very enjoyable film. Definitely worth seeing in theaters. I enjoyed it. I don't think the reviews were as negative as they let it out to be, though the first half is great. It does peter out at the end, but it's still a lot of fun. Michelle Pfeiffer is fantastic as Janet Van Dyne. She really gets to shine here, and Jonathan Majors makes a fantastic Kang the Conqueror, and I look forward to seeing him in multiple other versions of Kang, because he's truly an actor on the rise, as evidenced by his next turn in Creed 3, and can't wait to see what he does. He's going to make a great big bad for the MCU for years to come. But with that, definitely check out that movie. And if you can, if you're going to check out a good comic book, check out the Space Usagi, because that is a true classic.